He opens the door, immediately puts a gun in my face, right? Juice had then said, no one's leaving until we find this money. And so when they showed up to meet their parents, the car got swarmed by the SWAT team. So we have a warrant for your arrest right here. $2.2 million bail for kidnap for ransom, kidnap, false imprisonment, assault with a deadly weapon, terrorist threats. I resolved to myself when I was in the county jail, I have to change my whole outlook. I just basically threw myself into everything I could. The very first time I set foot on the board after getting out of prison was like, oh, like some crazy like euphoria. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. So I fought my case for nearly 2 years, right? And what I ended up doing was taking a plea bargain for 14 years and 4 months because they would not budge on our time, period. The only way I would have walked out of that courtroom was if I would have got on the stand and testified against my buddy who, you know, he probably deserves it, but I'm not gonna be the one to fucking nail that fucking coffin shut, you know? 19 months in the county jail, 2 months in juvenile hall, 21 months total fighting my case. I was sentenced in August of 2008. I caught the chain, right, which is when you get on the bus to go to prison, to go to reception. September of 2008, I went to reception at Richard J. Donovan State Prison in San Diego. Spent about 5 weeks there. Went to Ironwood State Prison, level 3, secure, real prison politics. You know, it's not the worst place you could be, but it's not a fucking joke. You know, you got about 25% of the population is lifers. Most of those lifers are murderers. They do not fire warning shots from the guard tower. So if you just happen to be in the mix fighting, if there's a riot, they don't have to fire warning shots. They just shoot into the crowd and hit. They aim for whoever is the aggressor. I've seen people get carried out in medical, and I watched the COs drop them. They have like these canoe-shaped gurneys that 6 people carry it. They drop them, do it on his head. I've seen people get fucking just cut open, bleeding, gushing blood, laid out, puddles of blood. I've seen people get soaked with like a fire extinguisher sized can of fucking mace and keep fighting. You know what I mean? They're fucking literally look like Oompa Loompas how orange they are, and they don't stop. It's called riding them to the dirt, right? You can't stop. You're not allowed to. So it's politics. If you don't fucking do it, you're gonna be the next person getting it, you know? It's fucked up, man. You come in and you're young and they expect you to put in work, and it's literally by the grace of God that never really presented itself in that way, you know? I learned early on to fucking mind my own business, follow the rules, carry myself with some fucking dignity and self-respect, you know? And it's like the only way that I can fucking describe it is divine providence. Like that worse shit didn't happen to me. You know, like I'm not completely above it. I'm not trying to be like, you know, I'm so much better than them. It's like, I'm right there with them, you know? I can't fucking judge them too harshly, but I resolved to myself when I was in the county jail, you know, barely turning 18, facing fucking 4 life sentences in prison. I had never even set foot on free land as an adult, you know? I realized like, fuck man, I can't do this, you know what I mean? I have to fucking change my whole outlook, like 100%. And so when I was in the county, I was able to do like some rehabilitative programs. I just basically threw myself into everything I could, right? I took parenting classes. I don't even have kids, right? I took fucking marriage and family, didn't have a girlfriend or a wife, right? Substance abuse, criminal thinking, anger management, fucking job training, life skills. I got my GED in the county jail pretty much on time of when I would have graduated if I was in school still, you know? Ironwood, they had a college program there. I started taking classes there, started getting pretty decent grades. I ended up getting transferred to Oklahoma because they did this out-of-state facility thing because of the overcrowding. So when we were out of state, we had Xboxes in our cell and stuff, right? I was playing Skate 2, Skate 3 on the Xbox. So that I was able to keep skateboarding fresh in my mind from that, right? And I would like visualize and build skate parks and stuff. And And we'd try to get a hold of like magazines and CCS catalogs and whatever we could, you know? And we would be watching the Do Tour, and then when Street League launched, just anything that was skateboard related, I was trying to get my hands on if I could, right? They let us get Xbox 360s and PlayStation 2s, you know? And that Xbox right there is the one I actually had in my prison cell when I was out there. When we came back to California, we weren't allowed to keep it, so I had to ship it home. And so it was just sitting in my mom's apartment for like 5 years almost, while I, was still in prison. When I came back, I had to give up the Xbox, the TV, sitting in the cell with just books, right? And so I jumped into the books when I got back to California. I started getting straight A's on the president's list, on the dean's list. I ended up winning the incarcerated student scholarship 3 years in a row. So I got money for textbooks. So they decided we're gonna do a dog training program in the prison, right? Everybody loves dogs, so I thought about it like, yeah, sure, I'd love to learn how to train dogs. Like, that's cool, whatever. It's just another thing that I can put on my college application when I get out, because that was my goal, was to go to college. So I ended up getting I think a total of 10 months off my sentence for all the stuff I completed, right? Right after I got out, I graduated with 4 associate's degrees with honors from all the colleges that I did. And I ended up getting approved to go to a halfway house at the end of 2017. And then my buddy that I used to skate with way back in the day, I started talking to him and he's like, man, would like to come see you. I was like, yeah, dude, can you bring me a skateboard? And so he put it together and he brought it to me. The very first time I set foot on a board after getting out of prison, I was able to land 360 flip, kick flip, switch 360 flip, switch flip, and then a couple little bullshit shove-its and stuff. When I stepped foot back on the board, it was just fucking some crazy euphoria, like it's such a good feeling. When you land a trick, there's nothing like it in the world. I don't know how many people could explain that so many different ways, and it's just, you have to skate to know what it feels like. So when that happens and there's consistency, and it's like I'm becoming myself again, So this is the deck that my homie got me, or brought to me, when I first got out and went to the halfway house when I had the ankle monitor. So the rules were that we weren't allowed to skate. So I had to meet me at school, on the sly. There we go. Come June 2018, I paroled. A family friend allowed me to stay at their home, and then I got a job at a dog training facility, got my feet wet, integrated back into society. My skateboard was my primary means of transportation again. And then I decided at a certain point I didn't want to work there anymore, and so I launched my own business, Doggy Jitsu. So I do dog training, dog rehabilitation. We cover all bases pretty much. Come on. Jump. Yeah. Over the last year and a half, can't count how many dogs I've worked with, but I've been doing boarding and training with dogs, private training sessions. My goal is to successfully help people integrate dogs into their family or their pack. The interesting thing about working with dogs, when you're helping them overcome obstacles, it's pretty similar to trying tricks on a skateboard, right? We throw ourselves downstairs and at rails and gaps, and we beat ourselves over the head tirelessly trying to accomplish things. That commitment to landing a trick and that perseverance or that unwillingness to quit while we're ahead it parallels the training with dogs. So sometimes you might have to do something 1,000 times before we get it right. We need to give them the time that it takes to overcome that fear or overcome that insecurity, the same way that we need to dedicate time to our craft, right? Going through what I went through and understanding what I have to do to take my life to where I want it to be, I'm going to be going back into the prisons pretty soon here to teach the Pawsitive Change program. So then I can try to be an example for those guys, just to show them look, man, take this shit seriously, because you can make a really good living doing this. You can build your own business. You can build your own life the way that you want it. You don't have to rely on everyone else all the time, But I definitely do, when I get back with people that I'm close with, I'm super motivated to skate when I'm with my brother or when I'm with like certain individuals where it's just like, oh dude, it's on, we're gonna fucking have a good session. I've developed and grown into such a different person than I was, but skateboarding is one of those things that is a link to the past that I don't have to feel ashamed about, you know? Like I can feel fucking proud of the accomplishments as small as they may be. You know, it's like just connecting back to my true self.
Give your